2-0 teams. We're going to see who comes out on top in this pool. Nova is in purple, and Orsu is wearing pretty much every other color on the spectrum on their jerseys. Orsu from Oregon Rugby Sports Union, and Nova is short for Northern Virginia. So that's got an East Coast, West Coast thing. Orsu just had to drive up the street, drive up the I-5 to the Starfire Sports Complex here in Tukwila, Washington. And the kickoff goes, and it is gathered by Orsu. And you see that fast line, defensive line from Nova. They really want to pin them back in. Ooh, huge hit. So 2 players from Nova hurt themselves in that one. It's now 7-on-5. 1 Orsu player slow to get up. We've got players really just felt that collision. And Katie, we talked about the intensity.
Yeah, there's a great deal of damage here. Nova just struggling to get back and get up off the ground. A pretty intense tackle and hit that they're recovering from.
Well, that is Rachel Johnson. She's looking for support. She's got it from Heidi Whitman.
And Heidi Whitman, the 15-a-side MVP for the Division I National Championship. We'll see, been seeing great things from her most of the day today.
San Juanita Moreno looking to get through. Good work from Orsu to get all the way down in 22, but they turned it over into the ruck. And Nova had it, and then a poor pass out of the base of the ruck, and that's what strong physical defense will do for you. Is your first receiver will sometimes be looking at the defense, not look at the ball, and the ball hits the deck. So we will have a scrum down to Orsu.
Just a critical part in any of codes of the game, 7s versus 15s, is a quick transition, okay, from the attack to defense, and then vice versa. We saw Heck just kind of caught in a position where the ball turned over so quickly and just mishandled, and I'm sure she's kicking herself at this point because it was a great opportunity and puts really Orsu is in great field position at this stage.
Well, they've got a scrum right in front of them, just about in front of the post. They've got a wide, weak side, if you want to call it that, but they've put all their backs to the left. We're going to pack down now that everyone's got a little bit of a breather. That was actually quite an intense first 2 minutes for this game. Everyone's just sort of debating whether they wanted to go in left side or right side. There's your put in. And we're going around to the right. That is San Juanita Moreno trying to get into the corner, dragged down, but she does get it in. And that is the first try of the game. Orsu takes the lead 5-0. San Juanita Moreno has been one of the most exciting backs for Orsu for years. She is certainly a go-to attacker.
Credit to the scrummagers. You saw Orsu made a kind of last-second shift and adjustment from Johnson and Simmons making that change, and then really they just blew them off the ball early on. That set up a great attacking platform for Moreno to just finish the job, which he is known to do in most of different opportunities.
This is Jackie Lewis trying very difficult conversion attempt. Doesn't really get close. I think she kind of rushed it. Those of you back home, if you're hitting those drop kicks, you shouldn't be looking at the post when you hit that ball. Looking at the ground and stay looking at the ground. Trust me, it'll be much more successful. Orsu will be kicking off, having scored the try. 5-0 they lead here in this clash. Two teams that are both 2-0. Deep kick. Gathered. That looks like Heck. Yes, she's got support. Oh, very good ball movement from Nova.
Fantastic offload by Megan Hansen.
And that's Gustalis. Plays. Hildreth getting it out wide. Now that was out to McQueen. She had support with her too. They're going sideways a little bit though, but they have gained a huge amount of ground. Very well done from Nova. Now looking to see if something goes with it, but they've turned it over. Snatched in the ruck and then into touch, so it looks like it's going to be a throw for Nova. Very well done really, Katie, because that was a deep kick. It hit the ground. You don't want the kickoff to hit the ground, and yet they managed to gather it in and make something happen. Lauren Heck probably a big part of that.
Yes, certainly. Just also credit to Orsu's defensive system as well, too. They did a fantastic job of kind of scrambling and covering the areas and trusting each other to make sure that they take one man and sticking that tackle when they needed it.
Good line out from Nova. Ball spun out. And that's Hildreth. Orsu defense is there. Again, getting it out there to McQueen. And McQueen is right there at the line, but she's held up, rolled onto her back. What a tackle from the Orsu defense. And that was number 2, Rachel Johnson, at the bottom of the pile, doing the hard work.
You see Moreno congratulating Johnson really on just committing and making sure that she could get her hands wrapped around the ball. Because if the ball doesn't touch down, that's successful effort on defense. We're going to go to a scrum now.
See that low body position when you get low to the line, and too often we see players stand straight upright when they get close to the try line. Lauren Huck waiting for the pass on the Nova scrum. She gets it out to Hildreth. Such an experienced player, looping around Heck. Again, she's close to the line. She turns around, and that's good enough. Try for Nova. That ties it up. And Katie Wurst, that was just you know, a nice, simple looping play.
Certainly. We'll take it back to that scrum where Emily Blees actually fielded a very difficult ball that came out the back of the scrum, went off her foot. She was able to handle it and was able to distribute in one motion. So great credit to her to sticking with the ball, making it available to her athletes, and then also just seeing ball through the hands quickly to create space. Nova well-earned try that time around.
Well, Nova, no stranger to a little adversity, and this year they placed second in the first 2 qualifiers of the season to the DC Furies, but they won the championship, the Mid-Atlantic Championship, when they went to that tournament. Learned their lessons, I guess, in the finals of the qualifiers and beat the Furies in the final in the Mid-Atlantic Championship. Kick is good. That puts Nova ahead now, 7-5. Certainly all to play for with just a few seconds left in this first half. And it's a grubber kickoff. Oh, not well fielded, rolling scarily toward the Orsu line, and look at the Nova swarming defense. Nothing coming out, and that will be a penalty for just sort of diving on the ball. Moreno, not 10. Orsu's going to go again. And we didn't get the kick from the mark, and that's one of those referee things saying, I'm tired of following quick taps. I'd like to take a rest and make sure everybody's back 10. And then an error, kind of a frustrating error there for Orsu to end that half, because even though you're in your own 22, you get a couple of penalties. You know, you have all the time in the world for that half to end. You know, the time is up, so really you could just play as long as you want, as long as you don't drop the ball. And they dropped the ball. So not a good end for Orsu.
Certainly, you can probably just see the intensity at this point with the no seconds remaining, wanting to make sure that they take it into the half with a positive step forward. So something right now that we might, Nova's looking at that as an opportunity to capitalize on it. They're going back, they're having communication with their coach saying, you know, what do we need to do? What do we change for the second half? So what do you think Nova needs to do to stay on top, Alex?
Well, I like that their swarming defense it's coming up so quickly. So I think that they've got to play what they were doing right there at the end of the first half, which was pinning Orsu into their end, go at them, and just make them play a long field. I think the long field thing will tire out the other team, and then they'll look for them to make a mistake. If that hadn't been the end of the half, that knock-on could quite possibly have been picked up, try for Nova. So pin them back in would be the positive that Nova would be looking for. And Orsu plays a good physical play. They have tough defenders. They have to start challenging that Nova defense a little bit more. They need the ball to do that.
Sure, I think that they've had a distinctive advantage in the scrum time too for Orsu as well. A little bit more size and physicality, something that I would be using if I were a coach to take it at halftime, have a conversation about that, make sure that you capitalize on that strength for the program.
Well, I think we've seen a couple of personnel changes at halftime that might be addressing that. And it's really all to play for. Remember, 7-5. Nova leading here. This is a match to win the pool. Both teams are 2-0.
With the scoreline as it is, Alex, just the importance of making sure that you can convert those tries. Some of these games, as we get closer to the semifinal matches and beyond, it's going to come down to the boot and who does the best with it to make sure that they finish out what they start in the try and convert it at the end.
Very much so. Kicking, good kicking at a premium in this women's bracket. Orsu's brought on Brett Zimmerman. That doesn't look like Brett Zimmerman. They brought on a couple of different changes for their team that is sort of like ramping up the size. Scrum won by Orsu. You're going to look for some space now. Good tackle from Nova, but Moreno, she wants some help. She wants some support. She gets it from Lewis. And again, the ball is spilled, and the intensity of contact is what causes that as the player takes her eye off the ball. Nova still has it, but they do have a long way to go to get out of trouble. Kind of pressing it, both of these teams are. And that's McQueen going into contact. So very slow at this moment. Kind of a rugby league field about it, but penalty against Orsu. Offside. And Nova's going to take that kick. And talking about field position and kicking, it looked like they were going to go for the line out, but they've decided to run a tap move, a set move. And that's a loop. Out it goes. Heck.
Orsu laying a little bit off on some of that breakdown, maybe trying to make sure that they don't give away unnecessary penalties.
Well, they got in trouble just before that and thought maybe they should not do that again. And there's a little half break from Fraser. The ball is squirting around, but barely retained by Nova. Still very static. And probing, looking for some space. That's Fraser again. Does she have support? Not far enough. That ball just sort of rolling around. Where is it? Still Nova keeps it, barely. Ball goes backwards, and it's lost. Orsu has it. San Juanita Moreno, she's got some help, and that is Zimmerman. Try. Not a try, no try. Knocked on just as she was taken down. And that was a tackle from Megan Hansen just as the touchdown was made. Knock on in goal. And Katie, is that a case where you have to protect the ball?
Certainly. I think also credit to Hansen, just giving a clinic on how not to give up on an open field break. Just never know how it's going to turn out. So for a good commitment coming from the team, something that we've seen most of the game, this Nova team is really just diving on every ball and not giving up on opportunities to do things well for her club.
She didn't give up at all, came in, hit hard from the side, forced the knock on, and then there's a penalty, a short arm penalty, free kick against Orsu for an early shove in the scrum. And it's amazing how this game can turn from Nova having the ball on attack, look like they're moving it and retaining it, then they lose the ball, and suddenly it's a fast break for Orsu. They knock it on in goal, and now, again, Nova starting from deep within their end. Lauren Heck, she turns it over though, grabbed, and there's a number 8, Beckett Royce. One of the great servants of Orsu Rugby, rips it out and runs it in. Once again, she seems to be scoring clutch tries today, and Orsu takes the lead, 10-7.
Yes, Royce just contributing in a coaching role for the 15s program, just always a player on the field that you need to watch, is the one that takes those those steps to be the leader that she is and just make a difference. Usually when the game's on the line, that's who you're going to with the ball if you're on the Orsu team.
I know she's fit, but you know, it's difficult to know if you can get 14 minutes out of a player like her. But boy, she can make an impact when she comes on, and she knows when it's time to just put your head down and go, which is exactly what she did.
Certainly, Alex. As we talked about, it really is a situation of who can use their bench the best. How, when you make impact substitutions, how they can be the difference in especially the waning minutes of very important close matches.
Oh, and a great play from Royce there to retain that kickoff. A lovely high kickoff as well. And that was Lewis diving on it. Nova guilty of diving on the ground. Tap from Moreno. And then it was Franklin. Oh, almost the interception. Referee playing advantage, so we're still going. Moreno again. Now she's got a little bit of room. Taken down, not held. Gets up again, looking for somebody to pass to. Maybe you're a little bit blinded from all the color on those Orsu jerseys. I don't know, it gets to be a little bit confusing perhaps.
Orsu at this point should be thinking ball retention, possession. Right now we're up. You see Moreno having a conversation with their teammates saying, if we have the ball, we're staying on top. So right now they're kind of making a shift in the direction of what they're doing, hoping to retain the ball at all costs.
Causing all problems for the Nova in the breakdown. Stacey Fraser now on with a sin bin. She's off the field. Royce takes that pass. She's in under the post. And that is a huge change in this game from being a one-score game to being a two-score game. And in the end, Nova struggling in the breakdown area. They gave a turnover that led to a try. Then they started giving up penalties. They end up getting a yellow card because of a repeated penalty, and that went for the tap move out to Royce. And again, she knows where the try line is.
Yeah, absolutely. Becca Royce just bought herself some great insurance that they needed, which led to a fantastic result for this Orsu side, which I'm sure is pretty pleased with the way that, again, impact substitutions, they always make the difference. Well played, Orsu. And
that will be it. Orsu just took control in the second half, 17-7. They win the pool. Nova drops to 2-1. And we're here at the Emirates Airlines USA Rugby Club Sevens Championships. Next up will be the Atlanta Harlequins against the Youngbloods.